Hey you guys, welcome back to Angel Angela, and on this topic I wanted to talk to you guys about how the narcissist and the Jezebel spirit are actually spellbound, meaning they are held by or under a spell, right? They're under a spell and they can't think of anything else. They can't think about anything else, and they want you to think that they only think about themselves, and they don't care about anyone, and they can get anyone they want. Anyone should be lucky to be with him, right? These people are spellbound, and this is the main thing that a lot of people deal with after the discard. They still can't believe it. They can't understand that someone is spellbound to the point that they can't think of anything else. They can't think about your pain. They can't think about what they put you through. They can't think about you, the things that they've used you for that are affecting you. They don't think about your health. They don't think about the challenges that you're facing when they do these things to you, when they play you, when they make you invest all of your time, all of your love, all of your affection. It means nothing to them. They can't think of anything else. They cannot think about you. They can't think of their own children. What people don't even understand when they start dealing with these type of people that are spellbound, these type of people, their main priority is to make you believe that there's nothing wrong with them. They've already studied other people who are also spellbound. So their whole thing is, I have to prove to you that I'm not like everyone else. I'm happy. I'm a happy person. After you, I'm going to be a happy person. They want to put you in that spell so that you can't break that spell, because if you break that spell, they have to go back to the beginning, how you found them. A lot of times when you found them, they were messed up. They just didn't tell you they were messed up. They actually waited to tell you they were messed up. And when they discard you, they come back love bombing you. And eventually they start telling you their problems. Sometimes they discard you and they don't even care what they're doing to you. And they're so spellbound that they contact you and make it seem like the only reason they overreacted is because they're going through something, yet they can't explain to you what it is that they're going through, and what they're going through doesn't make sense at this point. They can't keep using the same storyline. That's because that was the storyline that was replaying in their life when you met them. So once you break that spell, they have to go back to how you found them. A lot of them, you found them with no vehicle, no job, no nothing, A lot of them, you found them in debt. A lot of them, you found them in many situations, and they used you, they preyed on you, even though you weren't the one to do the damage to them. And you will find yourself telling them, why are you treating me the way people treated you? That's because those people, that spirit that they're with, the Jezebel spirit, the narcissist spirit that they're with, is still treating them like that. Still in and out of their life. You cannot save these people, you guys. So I wanted to talk about this because I know I've talked to you guys about how the narcissist, basically, they're playing you for the Jezebel spirit. The Jezebel spirit, it's basically playing you for the narcissist. And these people are spiritually tied to other people, and this is why everything that you do for them, they treat you with rejection. And you're going to hear it first from me. Look this up on YouTube, and you're not going to find it anywhere, because everyone is so busy being gaslit. The gaslighting is so thick, so heavy, that you can't believe it. You cannot believe it, because the narcissist walks around, with their big belt buckle, macho man, right? Like no one can hurt him. like he's unstoppable, like his feelings don't get hurt, like he can just keep it moving and he doesn't need anyone in this world because everyone should be happy to be with him, right? Everyone should be lucky to be in his presence, right? Then you have the Jezebel spirit. She's super sweet, super sensual when she wants to be. Other times, she's cunning. She's using you. She's only giving to get something in return. Yeah, I'll help you with that. But it's only because you're going to be giving me rides. That's the only reason. I'm using it to my advantage because in my perfect world, the man does everything. He pays for everything. He does everything, you know. In my perfect world, the man is Prince Charming. They want you to be Prince Charming, right? They want you to be the one paying for everything. They're like, no, not me, right? Or they're only sharing and giving because they want something out of it. A place, a roof over their head, something. So they go out, they give you anything. They give you a free meal that they got, right? They go get those food stamps and they're like, look, I'm cooking for you. I'm cooking for you. I'm your personal chef because, you know, you don't get home cooked meals every day, right? I'm doing something for you, but they're getting something in return. You know, they go out to places, they lie to get their way. They're very cunning when they're having relationships with people, friendships with people. They want their friends to be givers. You know, as soon as you get with these type of people, they tell you, these Jezebel spirits, they tell you, you know, you have to be a giving person. I don't like hanging around people that, you know, they expect me to do everything. You know, I like people with positive energy. They fool you into thinking that, you know, they're looking for real friendships, real relationships. They'll do things for you to make it seem like they're a loyal friend. But the whole time they're lying to you about the smallest things. They're coming around you trying to give you COVID. And then a day later, they're telling you, hey, I got COVID, just to let you know, because they need you to feel sorry for them because they got COVID. But yet they don't care about the fact that they just gave it to you. That doesn't even cross their mind. They're not thinking about that. They're thinking, I'm going to act like I'm a caring friend by telling you that I have it. So now you're thinking to yourself, my friend is so nice. She told me she has COVID. She's warning me because she has it. She told me her parents gave it to her. She told me her kid gave it to her. She told me someone at work gave it to her. The whole time, she's having relationships with narcissists, with evil people that are transmitting evil diseases into her. And then she's going out preying on her friendships and people around her and playing games with everyone. And here she comes telling you a story about someone else, yet she knows who gave her COVID. That narcissist gave her COVID. She knows that. But here she is wanting to get sympathy from you. The Jezebel spirit, you know, has a lot of information, and she has this information because she has been played, right? She has been played, and everyone that God sends her way, she treats them as a miracle at first. Her bright and shining armor. And then it changes. It switches like a light switch out of nowhere. There's no explanation, right? You know, I tossed and turned over the fact that the narcissist was happy. That's something I used to literally lose sleep over it because I couldn't believe. I was in shock that someone would beg me to be with them, that will cry, that will plead whenever it was convenient for them. And when it wasn't convenient for them, it was like kick rocks, go kill yourself. It was no empathy at all. It was like sleeping with the enemy, right? Until I started to realize these behaviors where just like you have good periods and bad periods with the narcissist, I realized that they had good periods and bad periods for no reason. You're trying to find reason out of these things. And what I realized was that the narcissist always has a story to tell. Just like the Jezebel, they have stories to tell about traumas and things that are happening to them or happening to their friends and family. And they involve you in it, making you feel like you're their best friend because they're sharing things with you. And the whole time, you don't know that this person is half telling the truth. That's the thing. That's the thing about narcissists and Jezebel spirits, is that they tell half truths. And sometimes they just tell a complete lie. And they say it at the right time when your mind is focused on something. And then they tell you something so you can run with it. Or so that you can think they don't have any reason to lie to me about this, but they're actually doing it because they want you to feel sorry for them. They're telling you stories about people and they're not telling you the things that they're doing wrong. They're just like, this person attacked me, this person attacked me. And then later on, someone else will say something and you will say, hey, why did you tell me that person attacked you for no reason and you didn't even tell me that you went to their house? Why did you leave that part out? So when you start seeing that the narcissist and the Jezebel spirit are leaving parts out, it doesn't make sense. When they're crying or they're upset or they're in depression or you could tell something's wrong and they're like, there's no explanation to why I'm like this. And the more nice you are to them, the more they flip out on you like something is tormenting them. They want you to believe that it's nobody. They're a strong person and they just have their moments and that people around them are pissing them off. But yet the same people they claim are pissing them off, they're laughing with them. And they're telling you, oh, that's still my family at the end of the day. So they confuse you. You're thinking they're really upset at these people they talk about, their family and friends. Whole time, they're upset at the Jezebel spirit. And they're using stories of other situations to compensate, to get empathy out of you or to get answers out of you because they can't sum up to why the Jezebel spirit is doing what they're doing either. So they start studying you and then they study you wondering why you and the Jezebel are so different, but yet they want what they can't have, They can't have that person. You know why they can't have that person? Because that person is spiritually tied to someone else or many other people. Many other supplies, past supplies. That person is in debt with karma. That person is in debt with a lot of people they never gave closure to or apologized to. That person's not a free person. So you're dealing with people. The narcissist and the Jezebel spirit are people who are not free people. These are people who are captive. And they want you to believe they're free. But when you get a taste of what freedom really is, you realize that these people are far from free. And you're trying to explain to them what they should feel like if they were truly free and how they would treat people if they were truly free. And they look at you like you don't know what you're talking about. I've made videos about this before because I never seen the narcissist cry over anyone. Mother in the hospital having strokes and stuff, brother died. They use people's situations to make others feel sorry about them, but they don't feel bad. They'll use their own kid. I've seen this with my own eyes. They'll use their own kid. They're not clocking into work. They're telling their boss, hey, you know, my son, they're autistic, this and that, but they don't even take care of their son full time. But they're using that as an excuse. Anything to get their way, anything to have fun, anything to be with the Jezebel spirit and live in la la land. They don't want to live in reality. They don't want to deal with things that have to do with reality. There was times where, the narcissist would discard me, and then they're like, hey, let's go pick up a pizza and let's go meet at the beach. And okay, if you don't want to do that, let's go to this restaurant. Meet me at this restaurant. They're like obsessed with hanging out with you. They're obsessed with being around you, knowing they just did something really bogus, knowing they just left you stranded, knowing they just left you, to rot in hell, basically. What makes it even more sick is that if you open that door, they barge in like they never left. They barge in, they get in the shower, they take off their clothes, they kick off their shoes. They're like, I'm back in my safe place, and now they're treating you the way someone else treated them. Now they're doing something more diabolical to you, and you're wondering, why is it becoming more and more diabolical? And that's because their obsession, their spellbound to their connection to that person rejects you. Their spirit rejects you, and the moment it rejects you because of that spell, now they're doing to you what that Jezebel spirit is basically doing to them. So if, the Jezebel spirit gets them in some type of trouble, they want to get you in some type of trouble, and they feel like this is what's connecting us to each other, just like what the trauma this person did to me to connect me to them, So they want you to feel how they feel, and you're like, why? What's the purpose? Why would you do that to someone who has helped you? But that's part of that spell. They don't see anything wrong with it. They just look at it like, we'll just leave. That's what I would do. If you're dealing with a narcissist, now he's acting very feminine. Now he's doing things that the Jezebel would have done. Now he's spitting on you. Now he's slapping you. Now he's, arguing with you about things that don't matter, leaving you stranded. Doing all these things because guess what? The Jezebel left them stranded. The Jezebel did these things to them. Now they're doing it to you, and then they're acting like, I do this to everyone. I did this to the last person. The last person was an empath, but they were still spellbound to that Jezebel spirit, and vice versa. The Jezebel spirit will act very masculine periods of times where, they have that energy that the narcissist, that they're spellbound to, and now they're acting upon those actions. So, not until I saw the pain in the narcissist's eyes, not until the narcissist left me in hell and I had to climb back out, and I realized how easy it could be to use someone and prey on their emotions, I realized, wow, this is what the narcissist is doing to me. Not until that, I literally was gaslit for years until I went to hell. The narcissist wasn't there for me, and I had to climb my way out, and I seen people along the way who caught feelings for me, and how those people would act even though I would tell them the truth. They were in denial and still wanted to have something, even though I'm not telling them completely why I can't move on. I'm just telling them I can't move on. I'm not ready. I'll wait for you. I'll wait for you till you feel better. And I saw myself in those people, and then I was like, oh, dang. The narcissist played me. They're not a macho man. They're not this player that they pretend to be like. And then when they show you their sensitive side, they want you to believe that regardless of how evil you think they are, they're not really that evil. They're like, yeah, I almost killed you and ruined your life, but I'm not really a bad person. I'm just someone that's hurting too, and I want to be happy. And you're like, okay, I'll sacrifice myself for you to be happy. And even when they leave to be happy, they come back. Things go wrong. They can't understand the Jezebel spirit. They're like, dang, Jezebel, I've given everything up for you, and it's still not enough. And I hurt someone for you, and it's still not enough. And then they come back because Jezebel doesn't care. Jezebel wants to live a fairy tale life and get to do whatever she wants. The narcissist thought that Jezebel was smart just because she was cunning. But the Jezebel studies empaths. They study empaths, but only to get their way. Only to get their way. I've seen it with my own eyes. Someone who a Jezebel who thinks she can have anything she wants and everything should be given to her, and she has a nasty attitude, and she's very bougie and, very, very disrespectful towards other people, laughs at people, laughs at jokes that aren't funny, lies for no reason, always storytelling, always victimizing herself, always trying to be in control, always twisting stories and adding things and starting confusion and lies and cheating, and doesn't feel bad about having different sources of supply. And I've seen, Jezebel mimic me, mimic the way I laugh, mimic information that I have, mimic, mannerism. You'll sit there and you'll have good manners to people, and then the Jezebel spirit is copying you, and next thing you know, she's being super friendly to strangers, to strangers who want to be left alone. She doesn't even know when to do it. She doesn't even know when to actually be open. She doesn't even know when to be open. And then when people are being nice to her and who are genuinely good people, she thinks they're weird. She's like, oh, let's get away from this lady. Let's get away from this. They're talking about weird stuff that I don't want to hear about. They're being friendly. Oh, she thinks everyone wants her. She thinks everyone wants to flirt with her. She thinks people are obsessed with her when people aren't even thinking about her. The Jezebel spirit and the narcissist are people who they're spiritually tied to other people. And these are just people that have done a lot of evil. They've stirred up a lot of problems. They haven't learned from these things. And, they like to get together because they're both living wrong. And then they involve other people and gaslight you. And they will gaslight you for years because you just can't make sense out of something. And you're like, no one can lie for this long. No one can play games for this long. No one can see me in pain and keep doing this. But it wasn't until I saw the narcissist cry. The first time he cried, I'm really thinking he's apologetic. He feels bad, right? And I saw the pain and I was like, I feel pain too. I don't know why we're both in pain if we love each other. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. But I accepted it. The second time they cried, my spirit, my soul, I had too much information, too much data. I paid too much attention to people's emotions and in every detail of everything, that my spirit said to me, they're crying over the other supply. And I said, are you crying over someone? His eyes went googly-eyed and he looked left and looked away and looked back at me angrily. He switched really fast. That mask switched angrily, mad, upset, super mad, and dramatically left. Like basically almost kind of like, if I can't get any peace here, then I'm just going to leave and be by myself. If I can, I'm only here to get peace. I'm only here to get someone to rub my back and make me feel better about the things that don't want me, that don't serve me. Right? And with the Jezebel spirit, it's the same. They're only there to get what they want. You know, they go after good people so that that good person can bow down, and they might really believe that they want a good person. But the moment the people they are so tied to come around, they're gone. And this is how you have to look at it. Every time, the narcissist would call, no matter how diabolical it was, you would run to them. You would run to them to save them because you love them that much. And that's the same energy the narcissist gives you. It's, I want to be with Jezebel. And they'll leave like they're in a hurry, like they don't want Jezebel to find out, like they're protecting that relationship in a way that they've never protected yours. They didn't even feel empathy for you, sympathy for you, for the things that you've went through, or illnesses, sickness. They didn't care. You could be losing your home. They're just there watching, like they're not trying to help. They don't want nothing to do with it. The narcissist gaslights you. They block your intuition, and your intuition will be gone. Even after the relationship is over, you're still going to try to put the pieces together to what it is. But I'm going to be the first person on YouTube to tell you what it is. I already told you guys what it was. Look it up. No one's telling you the truth. I've been telling you the truth the whole time. It's hard to believe, but the truth is the truth. These people can't be alone. And every time they leave, they're going to tell you, I wasn't with anyone. I was by myself. I was trying to get my stuff together. They're going to lie to you. There's never going to be truth in them, even when you're sitting there telling them, hey, can you just tell me the truth? My intuition, my instincts are so over their heads to the point where I've told you guys, I started dating after that relationship, and the first person I dated was not connected to any of my friends, but I am, living in a city with a lot of people that know each other or are connected to each other. And the moment I met with one of my friends and touched her, gave her a handshake and, like a hug, saw her, gave her a hug. My intuition told me that she knew the guy I was dating, and I thought I was crazy. I was like, girl, how are you going to tell your friend that if she knows someone that she doesn't know, that's not connected to her? How is it going to look if you say that to her? It's going to look crazy. You haven't hung out with her in a long time, and then here you are bringing up someone you're dating if they know them. It's weird. But my intuition told me. So this thing is a spiritual thing. It's a spiritual thing even when you leave. And these type of people are everywhere. Only you didn't have eyes to see at first. So I'm sending you guys lots of love, light, peace, and your healing. I hope that this message, you guys, was helpful. Don't be fooled. Anyone that you're up and down with, things aren't making sense. You don't have the same goals, or you have the same goals one minute, the next minute you don't have the same goals and you don't know where you stand. This person has someone else. This person is tied to someone else. Anyone who's not afraid to be alone, they're not even going to bother trying to force others into their life, into their drama, because you're already used to. You already know what it's like to be alone because you love yourself enough to be by yourself. You like your own company. You enjoy your own thoughts, and anyone around you just makes it much better. So the fact that the narcissist is tormented to the point that they're using people, and then they're making it seem like, oh, it's not a big deal that I used you and ruined your life. that shows you what type of spell that person is on, and it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse, especially when you know something's wrong and you keep allowing it over and over again. And then when you start to realize that every time you take this person back, you have bad energy around you, and you start becoming aware of that bad energy and you still stick around, it gets diabolical. So if you guys want to book a session with me, my booking information is on the description box. Just give me about 24 hours to respond to you. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you guys are new to my channel. And I'm sending you guys lots of love, light, peace in your healing journey. And I will talk to you guys on the next podcast. Love you guys. Bye.